Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes Sri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I forgot who is reading today. Is Hemangi Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, I'm reading to Hare Krishna.
Please go ahead, Mataji.
Sure. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 59, Text 23 to 45. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirat Nashtaprayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachari निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य सतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Text 23. The goddesses of the earth then approached Lord Krishna and presented him with Aditi's earring, which were made of glowing gold inlaid with shining jewels. She also gave him a Vaijayanti flowers garland, Varuna's umbrella, and the peak of the Mandara mountain. O king, after bowing down to him, and then standing with joined palms, the goddesses, her mind filled with devotion, began to praise the Lord of the universe, whom the best of the demigod worship. Goddesses Bhumi said, Obeisance unto you, O Lord of the chief demigods, O holder of the council, disc, and club. O supreme soul within the heart, you assume your various forms to fulfill your devotee's desire. Obeisances unto you, my respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glance is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. Text 27. Obeisances unto you, the Supreme Lord Vasudeva, Vishnu, the primeval person, the original seed. Obeisance unto you, the Omniscient One. Text 28. Obeisance unto you of unlimited energies, the unborn progenitor of this universe, the Absolute, O soul of high and the low, O soul of the created elements, O all-pervading supreme soul, obeisance unto you. Desiring to create a unborn master, you increase and then assume the mode of passion. You do likewise with the mode of ignorance when you wish to annihilate the universe, and with goodnesses when you wish to maintain it. Nonetheless, you remain uncovered by these modes. You are time, the pradhana, and the purusa. O Lord of the universe, you are separate and distinct. This is illusion that earth, water, fire, air, ether, sense objects, demigods, mind, the senses, false ego, and the total material energy exist independent on you. In fact, they are all within you, my Lord, who are one without a second. Here is the son of Bhaumasura. Frightened, he is approaching your lotus feet. Since you remove the distress of all who seek refuge in you, please protect him. Please you place your lotus hand, which dispel all sins, upon his head. Sukadev, text 32. Sukadev Goswami said, thus entreated by goddesses Bhumi in words of humble devotion, the Supreme Lord bestowed fearlessness upon her grandson and then entered Bhaumasura's palace, which was filled with all manner of riches. There Lord Krishna saw 16,000 royal maidens whom Bhuma had taken by force from various kings. The women became enchanted when they saw that most excellent of male enter. In their minds they each accepted him, who had been brought there by destiny as their chosen husband. with the thought, may Providence grant that this man become my husband. Each and every princess absorbed her heart in contemplation of Krishna. The Lord had the princess arrayed in clean, spotless garment, and then sent them in palanquins to Dwarka, together with great treasures of chariots, horses, and other valuables. Lord Krishna, who also dispatched 64 swift white elephants, descendants of Airavata, who each sported four tusks. The Lord then went to the abode of Indra, the demigod's king, and gave Mother Aditi her earrings. There Indra and his wife worshipped Krishna and his beloved consort Satyabhama. Then at Satyabhama behest the Lord uprooted the heavenly Parijata tree and put it on the back of the Garuda. After defeating Indra and all the other demigods, Krishna brought the Parijata to his capital. Once planted the Parijata tree, beautiful the garden of Queen Satyabhama palaces. Bees followed the tree all the way from heaven, greedy for its fragrance and sweet sap. Even after Indra had bowed down to the Lord Achyuta, touched his feet with the tip of his crown, and begged the Lord to fulfill his desire, that exalted demigod, having achieved his purpose, choose to fight with the Supreme Lord. What ignorance there is among the gods! To hell with their opulence. Text 42. Then the imperishable Supreme Personality, assuming a separate form for each bride, duly married all the princesses simultaneously, each in her own palace. Text 43. The Lord Performer of the inconceivable constantly remained in each of his queens' palaces, which were unequaled and unexcelled by any other residence. There, although fully satisfied within himself, he enjoyed with his pleasing wives, and like an ordinary husband, he carried out his household duties. Text 44. Thus those women obtain as their husband the husband of the goddesses of fortune, although even great demigods like Brahma do not know how to approach him. With ever increasing pleasure, they experience loving attraction of him, exchange smiling glance with him, and reciprocate with him in ever fresh intimacy, replete with joking and feminine shyness. Text 45. Although the Supreme Lord's queens each had hundreds of maidservants, they choose to personally serve the Lord by approaching him humbly, offering him a seat, worshipping him with excellent paraphernalia, bathing and massaging his feet, giving him a pan to chew, fanning him, anointing him with fragrant sandalwood paste, adorning him with flower garlands, dressing his hair, arranging his bed, bathing him, and presenting him with various gifts. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Hemangmati, for reading the translations today for these verses. I'll offer a brief phrase and we'll get started with the overview. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumritamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Destarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So 1 second. Yeah. So we're in the section. The chapter title is The Killing of the Demon Naraka. Naraka, this demon is called also Narakasura or Baumasura. Sometimes it's called just Bauma also. It's a demon. So we are hearing in the last session, we heard about how Narakasura was killed, and then we'll continue to hear what did Krishna do after that. So the essential next set of verses cover small sections. One is about how after Narakasura was killed, how his mother came to Lord Krishna mother is Bhumi Devi, came to Lord Krishna and offered beautiful prayers. That is one section. And after that, what did Krishna do to return back the things that Narakasura stole from Swargaloka, like that? And then how Krishna came back to Dwaraka and kept the Parijata tree, and how the queens of Krishna, how they were serving Krishna, even though he had so many maid servants, like that. Those are few essential themes today. So let's go through from text 23 onwards. The previous verse, we heard that Krishna killed Bhaumasura, or who is also called Narakasura. So after that, what happened was, Narakasura was the son of Bhumi Devi. We know Bhumi is the consort of Supreme Lord only. Like when Varahadevi appeared, Varahadevi lifted Bhumi Devi. So Bhumi Devi is the consort of Supreme Lord, and Bhumi Devi had this son, Narakasura. But then how come his consort's son becomes a demon like this? It was because of his bad association with other demons. That is why he turned out like this. The other demon, his name was Banasura. So even if you're born to a very nice parents, so there's a chance that we might get deviated. How? By having wrong association. That's why we always choose the right association, right devotee association, and try to ensure our children have the right association, positive association, devotee association, always like that. Then naturally they will grow in bhakti instead of developing all bad habits like that. So here Bhumi Devi approached Krishna, and then she presented the items that this Narakasura or Bhaumasura stole from Swargaloka previously. What are those? One is Aditi's earrings. He stole Aditi's earrings, and that he got back. And then also Bhumi Devi offered Krishna two kinds of garlands. One is called Vaijayanti garland, and one is Vanamala garland. Interestingly, Jiva Goswami describes Vaijayanti garland means 5-colored garland, it seems Vaijayanti garland means. And similarly, Vanamala garland means it's made of leaves, forest leaves and flowers, and it goes all the way to the feet, it seems. Generally, garland is there till waist or a little bit lower than that. But in this case, this Vanamala garland goes all the way till the feet of Krishna, it seems. That is what Bhumi Devi offered to Lord Krishna. And she also offered the two other things that Narakasura stole from Sargaloka. Varunadev's umbrella, which actually gives rain of gold, like that it seems. And a peak of Mandara mountain, which is full of jewels and gems. So that also she returned back to Lord Krishna. So now, after she came and offered garland and returned back everything, she offered her obeisances. Bhumi Devi offered her obeisances, and she was standing with palms folded like this, and she started to offer beautiful prayers filled with devotion in her mind and heart. So the prayers start from text number 25, Bhumi Devi's prayers. She is saying, "My obeisances to you, O Lord of the chief demigods." So our Acharya is described, she is described, both Jiva Goswami and Sri Sanatana Goswami describes that she is saying, "Oh, you are the protector of devatas also, like Brahma, Indra, everyone like that." And how do you protect them? With your Shankha Chakra Gada. With those you protect them. And then actually whatever desire is in my heart, I don't have to tell to you, because you know what is in my heart. Why? Because you are Paramatma yourself. And how do you, and you also assume, come in different incarnations in different forms to fulfill the desires of your devotees. examples, Acharyas gives examples like Matsya Avatara, where Krishna comes like a fish, like that. And then you not only fulfill their desires, Acharyas describe, he also gives them proper intelligence also. So that's what we heard from this verse, 25th verse. Basically, she is glorifying Krishna as protector of demigods. She is glorifying Krishna as Paramatma, as being omniscient. He knows everything, including her desires. And she is glorifying Krishna as a protector of devotees, who fulfills the desires of devotees, who gives the proper intelligence to devotees, like that. Text number 26. This is a prayer we hear in first canto 8th chapter also, from Srimati Kunti Devi. So, 22nd verse in the 8th chapter of first canto. So the verse goes like this: Nama Pankaja Nabhaya, Nama Pankaja Malini, Nama Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangraye. It's a beautiful verse where many features of Lord Krishna are being compared to lotus flower. So she is offering obeisances to him. She is describing how his abdomen is like the shape of a lotus. That is one meaning of it. And then another meaning is his abdomen is like a lake where the lotus of Brahma came, like that. That's another meaning Acharyas give. And then Pankaja Maline. So you are decorated with a garland of lotus flowers. Pankaja means lotus. Mala means garland. So you are decorated with lotus flower garlands, like that she is describing. And then Pankaj Netraya. So your eyes are lotus eyes. Why? Because your glance is as cooling as lotus flowers, like that. Then Pankaja Angraye. This is your lotus feet have the marking of lotus flower. That is why she is referring to them as lotus feet also. So BBT purport describes that even though Kunti's prayer came in first canto, actually this prayer was offered first, and Queen Kunti repeated this prayer again later on. Because in the chronology wise, Queen Kunti prayers comes later on, is described. In text 27, she is offering obeisance to Krishna, and she is referring, although you are son of Vasudeva, you are actually Vishnu himself. You are actually the primeval person, you are the Purusha, and you are the original seed. That means you are the source of Vishnu also. So, my obeisance to you, you are the omniscient one. That means we devotees no need to share any desires. We don't need to inform our desires to you, because you are omniscient, you know all the desires. That's all she is glorifying. Purna Bodhaya means fully knowledgeable, like that. And then text 28, she is describing, you have unlimited energies. So then you are the unborn. That means you don't take birth like us, like that. And then you are the soul of everything, all the jivas, all the created matter, everything. For everything you are the soul. So all pervading, you are the super soul. All obeisances to you, like that. She is just glorifying him. So Srila Jiva Goswami describes that Krishna is with his energies only. Krishna is never separated from his internal energy. So that's why Krishna is glorified always with his energies. Now she says in 29th verse, Bhumi Devi is praying, desiring to create. You wanted to create. So you increase and then assume mode of passion. So for creation, mode of passion is essential in the material world. So you assume mode of passion so that you can create. Similarly, you assume mode of ignorance when it is a time for annihilating the universe. And when it is time for maintaining the universe, you assume goodness. However, you are not covered by any of these three modes. You are not covered by goodness, passion, or ignorance. Similarly, your time factor, your pradhana, the undifferentiated matter, and the purusha also. So, but you are still separate and distinct at the same time, like that. In the next verse also, she is glorifying the similar thing. which is that this is illusion. What is illusion? That earth, water, fire, air, ether, sense objects, demigods, mind, senses, false ego, all of them are not independent of you. In fact, they are all within you, my Lord, who are one without a second is coming. Now, in this place, Bhumi Devi is specifically glorifying the oneness of Supreme Lord with everything, including material items, including matter. So, in the purport, we hear in the previous verse, she described the difference aspect. Simultaneously one and simultaneously different aspect. That means, even though because of Krishna only all these material elements exist, but Krishna is separately existing also. That is the aspect. And BBT purport elaborates on this point, which is the core foundation of our philosophy, given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with an analogy also of sun and sunshine. The Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva. That means simultaneously one and different, like that. So Krishna and energy, his energies are simultaneously one also, simultaneously different also. How is that? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains with an analogy of a sun planet is there. From sun's surface, sun's rays are coming. In one sense, sun's rays are integral part of sun. So they are one, sun rays are one with the sun. That is one point. But also, even though sun's rays are there, sun exists separately. So even though from separate existence of sun rays are coming. So in that sense, sun is separate from sun rays also. So that is the Veda aspect, difference aspect. And indifference aspect, or rather word non-difference aspect is sun rays are also sun only. So that is what is being described in the BBT purport here. In the text number 31, now after you notice, Bhumi Devi came to Krishna, offered obeisances, and glorified Krishna in different ways. Glorified Krishna's energies in different ways. Now she places the request. This is a standard prayer format Acharya has described. We pay obeisances, we glorify Krishna, and then we may request Krishna for something. So she is offering a request. What is the request? She brought along with her the son of Bhaumasura, who was killed by Krishna. That means grandson of Bhumi Devi, grandson of the Supreme Lord. So she brought her, and she is saying, "Oh, my dear Krishna is very frightened, he is scared. So he is approaching your lotus feet. Since you remove the distress of everyone who seek refuge in you, please protect him also. Please make him fearless also." Then Krishna might say, "Oh, if I make him fearless, he will become proud like his father. He will do all nonsense activities, sinful activities." So she is saying, "So please place your lotus hand also on his head. Not only you remove fear, but place your lotus hand on his head." Why? Because that will dispel all the sins. That will make him pure. All his sins will go away. Then there's no point that he will do any actions in pride like that. So like that, Mother Bhumi Devi is requesting Lord Krishna. And text 32, Sukadeva Goswami describes, so after hearing humble devotional prayers of Bhumi Devi, the Krishna bestowed fearlessness to Bhumi Devi's grandson, and who is Narakasura's son. And then he entered into Bhaumasura's palace, which was filled with many kinds of riches. What kind of riches were there? Why riches were there? Because Narakasura used to go to Deva's planet and get all the riches from them, and go to Gandharva planet and get all the riches from them, and then go to Snake planet and get all the jewels from snakes, like that. So that's why it's described different kinds of riches are there. So when Lord Krishna entered the palace, he saw 16,000 royal maidens. That means royal princesses he saw, 16,000. Because these princesses were taken by Bhaumasura from the different kings. And in the purport, Sridhar Swami commentary is described where he refers to Vishnu Purana, and it says it's not just 16,000, that's the approximate number. Actually 16,100 princesses were there at that time, like that is describing. And they were unmarried daughters of demigods, different siddhas, asuras, and different kings is described. Text 34. So when Krishna entered, he saw the woman he described, princesses he described. Now the princesses are seeing Krishna. So what happened to them? They became enchanted when they saw Krishna's form. And in their minds they accepted him. Oh, Lord of the universe, whoever you may be, you can create the universe, so you can do this also. Can you please make this beautiful person our husband? Like that they were desiring in their heart. Sri Jiva Goswami describes at this point of time their garments were all soiled, that means not dirty, and they were fasting and performing different vows for a long time. So with that time thought they were praying for Krishna to become their husband, like that. And then text 36, Krishna accepted them as his wives, and he as his would-be wives, and then he had them decorated in clean, spotless garments. Remember the previous verse, Jiva Goswami described they had soiled garments. Now they were given fresh cloth, clean cloth. And then they were all sent in palanquins to Dwarka. Remember in Vedic culture, women were not, especially royal women, they were not walking in the land. They were going in palanquin with a covered palanquin. So nobody can normally have their darshan also like that. And then along with them also he sent all the treasures that Narakasura got from everywhere. So what are the treasures? Chariots, horses. Jiva Goswami describes from Vishnu Purana that 21 billion horses were there, it seems. And then other valuables are there. Jiva Goswami describes what are the valuables? Different kinds of jewels were there, cows were there, and sarika birds. What is the specialty of these sarika birds? They sing pleasantly, and also they're pleasing to see also. That means they're very beautiful. That's what Srila Jiva Goswami describes. We don't have that understanding from purport. There's no purport for this verse, but Jiva Goswami describes it. And the 37th verse we hear Krishna also sent along with the princesses 64 white elephants. Remember in the previous description we heard Airavata family elephants were there, like that. So those elephants were also sent. Not only those 64 elephants were sent, Srila Jiva Goswami describes another 60,000 other elephants were sent, like that. And then not only they were sent, Krishna kept Varna's umbrella and also the jewel mountain on top of Garuda. And then finally Krishna along with Satyamama, they also mounted on top of Garuda. They all went to Swargaloka. And Vishnu Purana did a description of Krishna's entry is given there, not in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna goes to the entrance of the Swargaloka and he blows his conch shell, announcing his arrival. And then at that time, both Indra and his wife come outside the heavenly planet, Swargaloka, and they nicely receive Lord Krishna in their abode. And then not only that, they worship Krishna and Satyamama duly. And then Krishna gives whatever Aditi's earrings back to Indra, like that. Indra's mother basically. And then Satyabhama places a request. It's interesting. This request is described in detail in Vishnu Purana, I believe, where it is described. Satyabhama says, you always tell me I'm the most dear to you. I'm dear to you than even Rukmini or Jambavati. I'm the most dear to you. So now, because I'm most dear to you, I want you to get me Parijata tree from Swargaloka. Then I will keep it in my private garden and I will take the flowers from that tree and put it in my hair. And then I'll be special among all your queens, like that. Like that, Satyabhama placed the request before Krishna is described. And then Krishna accepted Satyabhama's request and he fought with Indra. Indra didn't allow him to take it easily. So he fought with Indra, defeated him and took the Parijata tree and kept it on top of Garuda, and he took it back to his capital city, Dwaraka Loka, like that. And then 40th verse, the Parijata plant or tree was placed in Satyabhama's palace, and then there were bees. Because Parijata tree has so much fragrance, bees were coming all the way from Swargaloka to here. They're greedy for the fragrance and the sweet sap from the Parijata tree. Sanatana Goswami in his commentary describes this Parijata tree's glories from Vishnu Purana. He describes the smell of the tree, the perfume earth came for 3 furlongs. And when somebody approached the tree, it allowed them to recollect the previous existence. That means their previous life also they can see in the tree like that. So, Yadavas, when they come to the tree and they look at the tree, they can see themselves, oh, we came from Swargaloka. Like that they were able to see their forms is described. And then those who come close to the tree can also hear various musical instruments playing. And then sweet swinging also is coming from the tree like that. Then if somebody had a desire in a heart, that gets fulfilled because of the Parijata tree. That means Parijata tree is acting like a desire tree. So like that, the glories of the Parijata tree are described in Vishnu Purana. And then text number 41, this is describing how Indra fought with Krishna before Krishna took this Parijata tree. So Parishit Maharaj would be shocked to see Indra fighting with Krishna. That's why Sukadeva Goswami is condemning Indra. What ignorance there is among the gods, to hell with their opulence, like that is describing. That is the caution for us. When we become materially wealthy, there is a possibility that we might become pride. So we need to be watchful of that. And then text number 42, Krishna, after he went to Dwaraka along with Satyabhama on Garuda, and then finally he expanded himself to 16,100 forms. Not only he expanded himself, his parents and relatives, he made them also expand into 16,100. And then they all were having marriages in 16,100 palaces, separate palaces. Each palace is a separate marriage, but each palace has a real Krishna in his Prakasha form, along with all the relatives, including his parents, like that. That is the glory of the Supreme Lord. Only Supreme Lord can do like this, expanding in 16,100 forms and have simultaneous wedding in each palace to satisfy each of the princesses, like that. Then the next verse, Krishna remained in each of the queen's palaces constantly, and then they were very opulent, each of the palace, and they, even though he is fully satisfied in himself, is Atmarama, he enjoyed with his pleasing wives. And also, like an ordinary husband, he carried out his household duties. So this is an example for us, that we take care of household duties. Not because I became a devotee, now I don't do any household duties, let somebody else deal with it. Not like that. We also do with the household duties, but make time for our devotion service and make time for family's devotion service also. Then, now the last 2 verses of this chapter are describing how the queens were living in Dwaraka with Krishna, like that. So even though the queens obtained Krishna as their husband, they experienced loving attraction for Krishna always. They exchanged smiling glances with Krishna, and they reciprocated with him, and fresh intimacy, and they were joking with Krishna. They were with feminine shyness they were exhibiting. And even though they had hundreds of maid servants to take care of everything for Krishna and themselves, they chose with their free will personally to serve Krishna. They didn't say, oh my dear servant, you bring food to Krishna, you give water to Krishna, you massage Krishna's feet. They didn't say like that. They personally wanted to serve Krishna. They personally fanned him. They personally gave him pan to chew. They personally put sandalwood paste on his body, and they personally offered him flower garlands to Krishna. They personally dressed the hair of Krishna. They personally arranged the bed of Krishna. They personally bathed him. They personally gave him different kinds of gifts. So this is the nature of pure devotees. Even though they have so many facilities where others can take care of services, they would like to also personally serve Krishna. So that's a lesson we can learn also. Even though we have facility where others want to serve, we also give an opportunity for others to serve, and we also serve Krishna all the time like that. So we'll pause here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kupasindubhyevacha paditana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much, devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hari Om, Hare Krishna. Beautiful.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.